I'm here to talk about the Workforce Collaborative that we were a part of. Quick advertising, the Chamber, the Fargo-Moorhead Economic Development Corporation, Greater Fargo-Moorhead, United Way, FMRE Foundation, and the CVB all collaborated on this, hence collaborative, get it? It was the idea of the brainchild of the two guys at the Chamber and the EDC, because every business, virtually every business they surveyed, anecdotally or actually surveying, cited workforce as their #1 problem. That is to say, they couldn't find enough people to fill the jobs that were open in this community. So I looked it up recently. We've been working on this for about 2 years, right? So in August, this August, there were 14,023 jobs in North Dakota advertised, open jobs. That's down about 39% from 2014. September jobs in Cass and Clay County were down much less than that. So what does that discrepancy tell us? Well, even at the height of the oil boom, when there were 23,000 open jobs across the state of North Dakota, more than 6,000 of those open jobs were in Cass County. Next closest county was Burleigh County with about 3,000 open jobs. So in spite of that strong oil field employment, there were always more jobs open in Cass County and the Greater Fargo-Moorhead MSA than any other county in North Dakota. So we had a problem here, and it didn't relate to the guys who work the oil rigs. So, downturn in oil and ag, right? Things have gotten a lot worse. Well, September unemployment in this MSA was 2.7%. Yeah, that's a little higher than it was back then, but it's still 2.7%. #1 takeaway from our workforce study, we need to fill 30,000 jobs by 2020. Actually, it said 2019. I'm stretching it out a little, to make up for the slowdown. How are we going to do that? Well, first of all, you need to know what kind of jobs those are. More than half of those, actually 2/3 of them, will be replacement jobs because they think guys like me, old guys is what I'm saying, and maybe some older gals are going to retire. Well, I'm not, but I suppose some people will. So 2/3 of them replacement jobs. 45% of them are going to be entry-level or service jobs, which is going to lead me to the last part of my presentation. Pay attention to this. So those are not high-paying jobs, right? But 45% of those open jobs will be in that particular area. Just a quick breakdown of this for you by high, middle, and low income level, and then replacement versus new jobs. There you can see how many replacement jobs there will be, how many new jobs. So we have a daunting task ahead of us. How are we going to fill those jobs? Well, there were 80 slides, I think, in the first workforce presentation. I got this down to 20, and that was the only one you'll see from the original presentation, so I'm going back to some old basics here. First of all, we need to educate them, right? We need to educate people in this community. How about a new NDSCS campus in Fargo? Well, I got shot down in the last legislative session. They're going to try again this session. I don't know, there's not as much money this time around. How about losing the out-of-state tuition premium? What's the point if you need students, students are going to stay here if they come to school here, why would we put a premium on bringing somebody from out of state in to go to school here? It doesn't make any sense. We have to sell them. That's where the Convention and Visitor Bureau comes in, right? We need to sell the amenities of this community and tell people how great it is, and that includes arts and culture. This is a very vital part of what we have to offer. Here's the key, though. I think you're going to have to pay them. We learned during this study that the basic cost of living for a person to not have the wolf at the door is about $14 a month, or $14 an hour. So that comes out to about $1,900 and change a month. So your monthly average rent in this community, when I first looked this up, was around $750. Okay, so subtract that from 1918. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but we threw in this daycare thing. Those of you who have children in daycare probably know that it's much closer to the high end of this than the other. We're going to come back to that when we get back to the total at the end. So first we're talking about just someone who's single here. How many people came out of college with debt? Anybody? Okay. Average debt in Minnesota was $30,894, South Dakota just under $26,000. For some reason there wasn't a figure for North Dakota, so I went with $26,000. So if you got $26,000 in debt, average college student coming out, 10-year loan at 4.5%, which is what I used at the time. Monthly payment's going to be close to $270. So now you got over $1,000. You're probably about about $1,000 with that. So average rent, maybe you got some utilities. You might want cable TV, right? $75. School loan payment, phone, car, insurance, groceries. You got to take that out of $822 a month. Now, God forbid you have a child, $550 a month. You need to pay these people in order to get them to come to work here and to stay here, especially the ones on the starting end. Thank you very much.